Hello, friends. What up, what up? Hope everyone's doing good out there today. Coming to you on a Sunday afternoon. It is September 26th. Been a minute. It's been a little bit since I've gotten behind the microphone just by myself here, so I figured I'd crank one out for you guys. It's been a second, so been working and shit. You know how that goes, full-time job. It's kind of hard to get this shit in there. But I've been looking forward to doing this one for quite a bit. I actually got a new setup with the equipment here. I got my laptop right here. You guys can probably see that a little bit on the screen. And then pretty much everything, the audio interface right in front of me and shit. So I can actually look at the recording while it's going, at least the audio, which is good because obviously I'm still very new at this and there's been some technical difficulties running this thing solo. So I'm trying to, I guess, make it more manageable for myself to be able to track the recording and stuff like that. Because there were, I tried making an episode, this one, last weekend. For some reason, the audio cut while I was like 2 minutes in. I did not realize it cut, and I basically had to scrap it, which was a bummer. But now I'm able to actually look at it, check on the recording, and shit like that. And since I have the laptop here now, I can actually, look on the interwebs and bring up topics and stuff. So that's cool. And obviously I'm recording the video on my phone, so I can't do it on my phone, so I figured this would be ideal to have it set up like this, where I can actually access, information and news and stuff like that, things you guys actually want to hear about instead of just me rambling about life and stuff. I can bring up facts and whatever questions and that pops into my head, which is cool. So I'm happy about this new kind of equipment setup. I'm gonna have to be very, very careful though with my drinks over here because one wrong move and it all comes tumbling down. Don't want to spill anything. Got to be extremely careful. So got my coffee, got my water. I'm ready to go. So guys. I do apologize about the technical difficulties that were occurring in what was it, Jake's podcast? Man, I've really fucked that up. The video cut, if you guys go back to that one, filmed it a while ago, but the video cut out for a short, brief second, while it was probably like 45 minutes in, and then it cut out at the ending, unfortunately, for like 4 minutes. The video did. Luckily, the audio was good, but that video took a poop. So do apologize about that. But still had fun with that one. But again, I'm completely brand new to all this shit, so still trying to work out the nitty-gritty stuff in terms of the technical shit. It is not too easy running all of it by yourself, but I do what I can. But in this one, let's just cut to the chase, get right into it. I wanted to bring this topic up about cryptocurrencies and digital assets. Fair warning before we get into it, really. This is going to be pretty nerdy shit, financial stuff. But, this topic involves very holistic, worldly, kind of big picture issues, and I like to look at the, I'm really interested in like the philosophical concepts behind these assets and this new form of technology. So it's very intriguing to me. I've just been, I'm very new to all of it still. I was introduced to it. Well, I found it myself probably, when was it? December of last year, like literally New Year's of this past year. So, December of last year, January of this year. So it hasn't been long at all. I haven't spent, to understand these this new technology and these concepts. It's so complicated, and there's so many different aspects that go into it that I wanted to wait. I've been wanting to make a video about this and kind of talk about it and just my ideas around it for a while, but I wanted to wait until I could actually kind of wrap my head around these things and put words to my ideas and stuff like that. So I was kind of hesitant for a while to make a video on it, and everything, a lot of the media and reporting that's done within the space is heavily scrutinized, and people can be very hostile within this new kind of space. At least the people that are into it, it is kind of the whole cryptocurrency and digital assets. The whole market, everybody in it, it's kind of like, at least from the outside perspective, I think it could be very, typical to look at it like kind of like a cult, which is funny. And then there's like cults within the overall cult, but it's pretty crazy. And yeah, there's a lot of tension, a lot of heavy hitting topics that are heavily debated day in and day out. But it's an exciting time for it, and it's very, very much needed, I believe. It's very crucial for this technology to be implemented within our current system, to bring more power to the people and more liberation with our financial, we can become more liberated by using blockchain technology and these tools that these amazing developers are creating. Our finance, our own personal finance, can be more liberated because of this technology, which is incredibly. It gives me an incredible sense of hope for the future. A sense of hope that I haven't had actually in a very long time. Since getting out of college and looking at my student debt that I have to pay, and just working and stuff like that. I haven't had much to really look at in terms of other ways of creating more opportunity for my wealth to grow, and what I'm making to actually grow. And basically, it sounds, and this is probably the case for many other people out there, but a person like myself, just coming out of school, getting all this debt, I am looking for other ways that I can, get this payment off my chest more quickly and more efficiently, because there's just I didn't see anything. I didn't see any other options other than just, working, getting paid paycheck to paycheck, and just paying it off year by year over the course of like 20 or 30 years or something like that. That's really kind of the only option that I think a lot of people look at and see, like, okay, I guess I got to do this. But yes, coming into this space and the cryptocurrency space and being introduced to these new types of digital assets has really given me an incredible sense of hope for the future, and for not only my own well-being, but the well-being of people all across the world, because that's what this does. This is a borderless technology. It's a technology that doesn't see race, doesn't see religion, doesn't see gender. It's beautiful. It's you can give your dog a few Bitcoins or any digital asset, and nobody would know. It's just basically a number in the system. So it's kind of cool. And as I'm rambling about this stuff, I'm realizing that I'm getting down the rabbit hole of where I'm even still touchy on the subjects, and it's hard to, I guess, put words to these topics and get it out in a clear way. So I'm going to try my best to do so. But again, I'm a complete noob to all of this. None of this is financial advice whatsoever. Again, more interested in the philosophical and holistic, fundamental ideas surrounding this topic that I want to talk about, not so much the technicals and the I would of course love, and I'm going to talk about this investment opportunity being like an investment opportunity for wealth generation, but I don't want to harp on that solely, just like this is gonna make us rich, because I don't, it's great, but I don't think that's like the overall point of this stuff. It's it's a great opportunity, that's for damn sure, but there's so much power and there's so much good that can come out of this for the entire world and for people that are in much worse situations than myself. That's what I really want to focus on, and just how this changes things, truly. But yeah, again, just want to tell my story a little bit, kind of my initial thoughts and ideas about this innovative space, exciting in these exciting times for blockchain technology and the developers, everyone involved in it. And I encourage everyone to, everyone that hears this or finds this, to look into it. Do your own research. Obviously, I'm a complete idiot. I'm a dumbass. Don't listen to what I say. I'm just basically, giving you my own perspective to the best of my ability, and I hope it can help you, and get you excited about what this means for the future, what it means for the internet, what it means for individuals, what it means for countries and society as a whole. It's amazing, man, and it's really just completely gotten me obsessed, to be honest. And this is kind of where I guess I'll start, because I have absolutely been completely obsessed with this topic for a while now, and it's funny because I haven't had an obsession like this since I really got into photography, I would say, and excuse me, and my passion for photography, because of course I'm obsessed with that, and all that shit. But that's what it felt like, really, to me. There was that same kind of feeling of, man, like I want to every day I'm just thinking about it. Every day I want to learn more about it. Every day I want to do it. Every day I want to be involved with it. And yeah, man, I've just been completely obsessed with learning about it, completely obsessed with listening to the news surrounding it day in and day out, for this past year. So it's been, 9 months of that. And, it didn't really kick in fully until March, April for me. So my story, again, and I'm going to reiterate, as you'll find, because I am a dumbass, my introduction to cryptocurrency and blockchain, for full transparency, full disclosure, I completely FOMO'd in, bought the top at Bitcoin on Robinhood of all platforms. I know. For anyone who knows anything about this space and cryptos and blockchain, that's the last thing you want to do, is purchase an asset on Robinhood, in terms of the ownership properties of that asset. But that's another topic. So yeah, FOMO'd in back when it was peaking. Bitcoin was peaking out at around 64,000. Pretty sure I just bought like $200. Figured it was going up, as always. That's what's funny, man. That's a story for the majority of people, I would say, within cryptocurrency who have been in this space. You'll hear that story over and over and over. I FOMO'd in, got it absolutely wrecked, and luckily I was one of those people who saw, I wasn't, when it crashed after the FOMO, and so the cycle, this past year, this cycle has been kind of like it. Bitcoin, the whole market was pretty much peaking out back in March, April-ish, and then took a massive nosedive. So it's been like that ever since the past couple weeks. Kind of been heading back up, but so yeah, that that initial FOMO got me in. Everyone was talking about it, obviously. News was going crazy. Everyone thought it was going to 100K or more, and then boop, as she goes down. So it is what it is. But luckily, again, I was one of those ones who got very intrigued by the technology behind it and the impact that it's having on the world today, and that the impact that it's had since its inception in 2009. January 3rd, 2009, I believe it was. Let's see. Now that I have a computer here, I can actually look up when was Bitcoin created. 2009, on the heels of the economic recession. And, so created 2009, and it's been here for 11 years. Jesus, quick math. It's been here for over a decade. And it's, taken like a joke when it first started. Not really so much today, but the point of that whole spiel is that, obviously Bitcoin was the first, and it's what attracts a lot of, just people who don't know much about cryptocurrency and digital assets. It's the one thing that they hear about the most. That and Ethereum, and most people get it. I would say, and I'm just making assumptions here generally, but I think there's a consensus that that's what gets most people in is Bitcoin, and the FOMO and all that, and FOMO, fear of missing out, for those who have been living under a rock, but for the past 10 years. So. But that was the start, 2009. And what that has done is created, since the creation of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, the whole history behind that, the anonymous creator, who most people think, I would say, has actually died, but nobody knows for sure. But that technology has created a whole ecosystem and has given birth to new ideas and new projects and new ways of innovating, and Bitcoin has given birth to tens of thousands of different cryptocurrencies, and most of them are shit, but a small fraction of them are beautifully designed and have incredible power and do things that you really can't even, it's hard to put into words the types of things these cryptocurrencies do in terms of the technology and and that's why I'm so adverse to really kind of talking about the technicalities behind it all, because it's so hard to understand unless you're actually, unless you have some coding background, unless you have some developer background or, anything like that. But I've been trying to learn and trying to be able to talk about it, so. But again, coming back, a lot of so many new projects and new cryptocurrencies have been developed in the past 10 years since Bitcoin, and all of them the good ones serve different purposes. It's kind of like they're digital tools. It's the digital toolbox, basically, these cryptocurrencies. They all kind of serve different functions, or they try and meet. They try and solve different problems throughout the world and throughout, just society. Each one of these is it's trying to solve a specific problem and doing it the best that they can. These developers and these projects, and basically, it's beautiful because what it does is it allows people to have a choice between, or another option, a choice and another option between the traditional financial system, which has been eroding for the past 100 years and has been, just blown up over the past 5 years, past 10 years since the economic recession back in 2008 and 2009, or 2007 and 2008. And it's come to the forefront of everybody's mind, I think, and it's such, the economy and, the banks and all this shit, and, these cryptocurrencies have been, since Bitcoin, these cryptocurrencies have been evolving and have been progressing, and they're taking the world by storm, truly. But it still is kind of the world's best secret, I think. I'm still astounded how this stuff is really not that well known about. The cryptocurrency space is very much so in a what's it called? In a echo chamber. After you've been involved with it for some time, and you've spent time researching it. I spend a lot of time just on YouTube, just kind of, listening to other podcasters, other YouTubers talk about it. It's where I get a lot of my information from and a lot of my education from. But you find that it is truly an echo chamber, and that you think, after being in it for some time, that, there are tons of people that are involved, and there are tons of people that are involved and do know about it. But it's a fraction of, the world's population. A small, small fraction. Very, very tiny. Let's actually look that up. How many people in the world own crypto? Okay, that's Americans. I want to know how many people in the entire world, because Americans do own quite a bit. Let's see. Jesus, this is an interesting day. It's giving me country by country, but, well, okay. So, let's see. For this website, triple-a.io/crypto ownership. The first ones that pops up on Google. They're saying over 300 million plus crypto users worldwide. North America 28 million, South America 24 million, Europe 38, Asia 160. Jesus. 160 million. Oceania, so like Australia, 1 million. Africa 32 million. But 300 million plus people, so let's just say 300 million. So as of 2021, we estimated global crypto ownership rates at an average of 3.9%. So yeah, like 4% of people in the entire world own cryptocurrency or digital asset, and they're saying, Yahoo.com is saying 14% of Americans own crypto right now. 14% of America, but guys, that's still just like, that's really nobody. It's not. It's getting there by all means from what it was, but it's still, I think, one of the best damn kept secrets of our time. And you got to wonder, like, why don't people know? Like, why hasn't this, already taken over the entire world? And man, like, if you guys get into this stuff, you start to see the patterns of, just FUD. The media, basically the moving of the chess pieces with all of these people at the top trying to essentially, when Bitcoin was first created, it was only thought to have been, used by criminals, or it was basically the premise behind it, and as essentially what I think, and what the idea of it when it first came to fruition in 2009, Bitcoin, most people thought that it's fake money, not used by criminals, scammers, and it was, of course, but that cash is too. The U.S. dollar, cash is by far the most, because it's the most criminally used asset in the world, cash, paper bills, because it's private. You can't track it really between person to person. You think about sending money online, can be tracked through, I don't know, like IP addresses and, your email and all that shit. You have to give up a lot of your data. When you're sending funds online, it can be very easily tracked. If somebody wants to know where you're sending funds and who it's going to, where it's coming from, people can figure that out. The people that are at the top, dealing with all this stuff. But cash, paper cash, the beautiful thing about paper cash is that it's private, right? It's paper. There's nothing attached to it. It's just, it's a transaction form. It's a transfer of it's a transaction. It's a way of transacting. Everybody has assigned that these paper bills have a certain value to them. Everybody knows that. It's been agreed upon. It's been the thing for the past few centuries. And then, just this past century, we had the introduction of plastic money, credit cards, debit cards, and all these cards, right? And that's when, everything starts entering the realm of digital stuff, right? And then we have just all of this tracking information, all this data getting, stolen, or I guess not, I don't know, all of the data from people online, using the World Wide Web. Once money moved digital, it became so easy to just track it, to do whatever you want, to launder it, and with the recession that came 10 years ago, and again, I don't know too much about it. I was literally like 12 years old, 12, 13, I don't fucking know. But, I mean, it's complicated, but essentially people lost trust in the banks, right? It's absolutely insane. And that was kind of a build-up. I think that was a thing that was building up, over time. The system is flawed. And I think most people know that. Like, the financial system is flawed. Most people, I think, know that. And the problem is it's just so damn big to fail now, right? It's the way that things have been. It's been like this for so long, and everybody has just kind of fallen into this trap. And for the longest time, it looked like there was no goddamn way out, and we just had to rely on the government to keep printing the fucking shit out the window, printing money out the window. Like, just, it's absolutely insane. And I mean, the system is so flawed that people at the top, people in government, they don't even know how to fucking fix it. Like, they don't even know. And it's almost like they don't even care. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. And I think people started to really realize it, in its full extent when the economy collapsed 10 years ago. And since then, I mean, nothing's really changed. Nothing's really fucking changed. They're kicking the fucking can down the road in terms of this problem, right? I mean, it's so fucking big. The problem is so fucking huge. The scale of it is so fucking huge that to fix it, you have to change everything from the foundation, right? Everything that these banks have built, everything, the highway of the financial system is decaying. It's been decaying. It's been rotting, and for decades now, and there hasn't been a way out until now, right? The invention and the innovation of blockchain technology as a peer-to-peer system. What the fuck? Let's actually read, okay? Bitcoin white paper. And guys, this isn't just all about Bitcoin. Okay, I'm not a fucking Bitcoin maxi. But the point of this episode is that, I mean, it's hard not to talk about this stuff without, referencing Bitcoin, because, and especially this being the first podcast that I've really talked about it in terms of blockchain as a whole. it's very difficult not to talk about it without talking about Bitcoin. And there's so many other cryptocurrencies. So many other digital assets and tokens and different projects doing very, very cool things and absolutely, changing the world. And I do plan on, talking about those more in depth and, specific projects maybe if I want to. But, Bitcoin was the start of it, and the philosophy behind it, and, it's the foundation of cryptocurrencies as a whole. Every cryptocurrency that was really been developed since Bitcoin has looked at Bitcoin, the white paper, what it's done, what it, and have kind of used the foundations of Bitcoin as at least have implemented the foundations and kind of the ideas behind Bitcoin into their own cryptocurrencies in some way. And I'm referencing like the developers and these new cryptocurrency projects and those teams. Everybody is kind of, I want to say that, and again, I'm generalizing, but, most cryptocurrencies have used Bitcoin in some way as a platform to build off of, as a starting point to build off of, right? And that's what it's all about. That's what these open source platforms are about. It's about collaboration, teamwork, and the push to move forward and innovate for the good of the people. And it all started with Bitcoin. So, hang on, let me get a little bit of medicine. All right, I've got the Bitcoin white paper pulled up. And guys, again, I highly recommend that I highly encourage you to really look into this stuff, and start with Bitcoin. It's what I started with. It's what got me into it. And it's the first. So we have the most history to go off of behind it, right? It's been around for the longest period of time, and it's survived. It's clearly changed the world. It's clearly completely revolutionized the new financial system, and it's completely taking over the old financial system. That's a fact. But I would highly encourage you to look at this stuff, look at Bitcoin, look at just kind of get into it, just get involved. It's extremely interesting, and to me, I've never really been like a crazy technical person. I do a lot of mapping work in my job, so that is technical. But I've never been like a coder, like a really good coder or anything. Yeah, I was introduced to like Python and stuff in school, but it was hard. It was really hard to understand for me, and never been really much of a like truly technical person. I like to work with my hands and get outside and all that stuff. But I'm still very, I would still say that I'm very, I can understand this stuff, and I think everybody can if they just read about it and get educated and educate themselves, And I could, anybody can. If you apply yourself, you can do anything, man. Like, if I ever wanted to like do coding someday, which I don't think I will, that doesn't really interest me to code. I like more visual things, but I'm sure that if I applied myself and learned about it and learned how to do it, there's tons of free courses out there and stuff. I would be able to do it. And I think anybody can educate themselves on anything. It's just how much time do you want to put into it, right? How much do you want to dedicate yourself? But let's read this white paper, at least the first few sentences of the abstract, because this is history, guys. This is where it all started. This white paper right here. It's just an idea. It was just an idea that Satoshi Nakamoto had. And the story behind Satoshi Nakamoto is also very, very interesting. Very interesting. Not going to get too much into it, but essentially it's that's a pseudonym, right? I think that's the word for it. But nobody knows who he is, or she, or them. It's believed to have been possibly a group of people that developed Bitcoin and created it and released it upon the world. But nobody knows. A lot of people just think this person could be dead. So I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, look into that story too about the creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. There's recently, a few weeks ago, there was a statue erected in his or her or them name in where was it? Big Satoshi statue. Satoshi. Jesus, I can't spell. It was erected in Budapest. Budapest, Hungary. Yeah, it kind of looks cool. I don't know. But okay, this few sentences of the white paper here. So, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Satoshi Nakamoto, and he's got his email here: www.bitcoin.org. Abstract. A purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. Digital signatures provide part of the solution, but the main benefits are lost if a trusted third party is still required to prevent double spending. We propose a solution to the double spending problem using a peer-to-peer network. The network timestamps transactions by hashing them into an ongoing chain of hash-based proof of work, forming a record that cannot be changed without redoing the proof of work. The longest chain not only serves as proof of the sequence of events witnessed, but proof that it came from the largest pool of CPU power. As long as a majority of CPU power is controlled by nodes that are not cooperating to attack the network, they'll generate the longest chain and outpace attackers. The network itself requires minimal structure. Messages are broadcast on a best effort basis, and nodes can leave and rejoin the network at will, accepting the longest proof of work chain as proof of what happened while they were gone. And now that's a lot. It might sound like just a humble jumble of coder words and shit, but basically it's saying, and I think the big thing here is this third-party stuff. Digital signatures provide part of the solution, but the main benefits are lost if a trusted third party is still required to prevent double spending. That third party, and that's this whole thing, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Peer-to-peer, right? From one person to another, no third party. And that's what this does, right? It eliminates the banks. It eliminates that third party. It eliminates somebody holding your money. It eliminates that. It's a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Cash. What I was just saying about cash, right? It was the most, it's anonymous. It's private. It's private. And this is highly debated. Again, this is stuff that is highly, highly debated in terms of what Satoshi actually meant for Bitcoin, what his overall envision was for it. It's highly debated, right? People have their ideas. People have their conspiracies, speculations, all that. But the point is, it is a platform of trust. And that's the big thing. It's a platform of trust. It allows people to trust and verify that what I'm sending you is true, right? That what I have in my wallet is true and verifiable, and I'm sending it to you, and that's true and verifiable. It's a network of trust. That's all it really is. And it's open, right? Everybody can see everything. But nobody knows who is. I mean, it's just everybody just has their little address. You just have an address, just a culmination of words and letters. And that's you on the blockchain. Nobody knows who the fuck you are. There's no email associated. There's no KYC, know your customer. There's no nothing. But everyone can verify that this person or dog or alien, whatever, this entity that was on the blockchain that had this amount of funds, verifiably sent that amount of funds to this address, and it was confirmed by the blockchain, by the proof of work system that Bitcoin has. And that's what it does. I mean, it's bringing a secure, verifiable, private, in terms of your identity, and borderless platform of trust onto the mainframe of the internet, right? It's within the internet. It lives within the internet. At least that's kind of how I view it. It's just code and everything, but it lives in there. It's got a heartbeat. It's beating every 10 minutes. Those miners, they're mining, and the soul of Bitcoin beats every 10 minutes. And it pumps out more. And it can't be, the other part of it is there will only be so many. And I think this is also this is one of the biggest things, right? There is a shit ton of manipulation within this market and within this ecosystem because it's brand new. It's just a little baby in terms of this market. Completely new, and it can be easily manipulated. And big money can easily manipulate it. And that's the volatility of it all. That's the risk with all this, but if you see the writing on the wall, it shouldn't scare you. The volatility of the market shouldn't scare you if you see what it all does, if you see where this is going. Because even though the market can be manipulated in such a intense way, the swings are insane, but even though the market itself can be manipulated, the cryptocurrencies and the digital assets behind the market that are within the market, those things in themselves, they can't really be manipulated. Obviously, the community plays a role in the development of a project, and the developers and the team have a very, very large say in what happens with each project. But the tokenomics and the intrinsic, or I guess the tokenomics and the properties of these digital assets, they're not changing. And if they are changing, it's by consensus. It's by everybody within the network has agreed that this change is needed and it's wanted. There's no, and I should say, some projects are, have kind of a weaker system, a weaker, way of kind of governing things, and they don't, they probably don't involve the community as much. But I think the really powerful projects and cryptocurrencies really, their protocols and their governance is really influenced by the community as a whole, right? And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be, the few people at the top controlling everything. It should be Everyone has a say. Everyone's voice matters, right? And if you can come to an overall consensus with everyone participating, that's good. That's good. You don't want, a few people at the top controlling everything. And again, kind of going back to the properties of these digital assets and cryptocurrencies, there's only so many. And some do have inflation models, but there a lot of these things, there will only be so many. And unlike the U.S. dollar, where the Fed and the Treasury and all that, they can, this past year we've seen the infrastructure bill, right? An enormous amount of print, the most printing that's ever been done by the fucking Fed. It's absolutely fucking insane, man. Like, if you aren't seeing this, wake the fuck up, dude. Wake the fuck up. This shit is fucking scary, bro. And if you don't take this fucking shit seriously, you fucking should, because this is your goddamn life, and this is your fucking children's lives. I mean, the infrastructure bill and the printing that's been fucking going on to fucking kick this goddamn financial can down the road and put the problem off for another fucking 10 years, it's still happening. And the Fed has committed to fucking printing more, to going through with all of it. I mean, let me bring up a fucking... And just even, you can tell that I'm... I get passionate about these things, guys. Like, this shit is real. All right, Fed commits to inflation. Where is it? There was a recent article. Let's see here. CNBC. All right. Hang on, guys. All right, so I think this is the article I want. I'm not even gonna fucking touch on this, I don't think, because came under fire. Basically what's going on, guys, is that the Feds have committed to just keep fucking printing money. And it's fucking ridiculous. I can't fucking find it. And again, this shit is fucking confusing, so I'm still just trying to understand what the fuck is happening in the world. Essentially, the Fed is not doing shit. Government's not doing fucking shit. They're just going to keep printing fucking money, okay? And every year, your fucking value of the dollars you hold in your fucking bank account is going to go down. And it may be good for some years, but it's going to be shitty for most of them. And it's only going to get fucking worse unless some radical change happens. And we need it. And blockchain is doing that. Cryptocurrency is doing that. Wake the fuck up. Shit pisses me off. But seriously, guys, this is the only fucking hope we have in terms of the financial system. And I mean, it's been looking good. Like, the innovation is insane. The amount of things that are happening in this space week by week is unprecedented. The speed at which innovation is occurring in blockchain and cryptocurrency is just fucking demolishing the traditional financial system. I mean, the traditional finance cannot move fast, and they're going to get run over by this shit. And if you're not ready when that fucking train hits, get out the fucking way, because it's gonna hit fucking hard. And that's what I really wanted to just kind of bring to the forefront here, is that you can't be scared. Okay? You can't be scared about these things. The traditional financial system has made the rich richer and has made the poor poorer. It has cost lives. It has put people in power, in positions of power where they can commit mega crimes and not be brought to justice. The traditional financial system is fucking shit. Okay. I mean, I'm a taxpayer. I'm gonna pay my. I am proud to be a fucking American. I'll pay my fucking taxes. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a fucking problem with that. Okay. I am happy to live here. And I will pay whatever they think is due to just keep my shit and keep living. But I'm looking at places outside of the U.S. I'm looking at countries and people outside of the U.S. El Salvador. El Salvador, a country, has just adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. What does that mean? That means that every vendor in El Salvador has to accept Bitcoin as a payment. And it's historical. It's the first country that has done so, and good for fucking them. Because it's the first, and it by far will not be the last. And they have absolutely made history by doing this. The Bitcoin law was passed by the Legislative Assembly of El Salvador on the 8th of June 2021, giving the cryptocurrency Bitcoin the status of legal tender within El Salvador after the 7th of September 2021. It was proposed by President Nayib Bukele. And today is September 26th, so it has been of the status of legal tender for about 2 weeks now. Amazing. I mean, guys, this is going to be fucking written in the history books in terms of finance. And just looking at news articles, I mean, the FUD is, and just the news articles on this shit is insane. It's just fucking... And this is the other thing, guys. The media will fucking scare you to staying the fuck out of this because they know that this shit is going to change everything. And I think this is another reason why that it's truly the world's best kept secret. And it has been for quite some time now. But everyone deserves to know what the fuck is going on. Let me read you some of these fucking shitty-ass news articles about this shit. El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender. Because this should be celebrated. I mean, this should be celebrated. This is a country taking an enormous risk. And this is a President Nayib Bukele, who's standing up for its citizens. You know, and maybe he doesn't, I don't know the mind of this guy. Maybe he doesn't even realize what this really means. But, I mean, what he's doing is truly amazing. What this country is doing by taking this risk and setting the precedent for Bitcoin. I mean, it's only the start. And other countries are going to look to El Salvador as an example and as a starting point, and a true inflection point of history. El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender is pure folly. Why El Salvador is botching its Bitcoin experiment? Fucking kidding me, dude. It's just shit. Like, why would you not? El Salvador botches Bitcoin adoption. Like, fuck you. Why would you write shitty? Like, the media will fuck you up, guys. Find people in this space that will educate you and give you a good perspective and kind of a holistic perspective on this space, because this is truly a human cause. Like, even though all of this seems very technical, this changes the world. This brings everything onto a level playing field, or it has the possibility of doing so. But there is so much shit out there. You can't be scared. Take the leap of faith like I did. Again, not financial advice, but if you want another option and if you want a choice about your future, I highly suggest that you take a look at these things and you become educated on these things. And maybe you'll become just as obsessed as I am about these things, because they are very powerful and they are going to change the world. They're going to change everything. They're going to change how people think about the world and how people think about other people and how people think about technology and what it can do for humanity. And hopefully it can do good. With these inventions, I think there is a lot of hope to be had for the future in terms of the change that we can implement. And everyone can be a part of that. Everyone can do their part in this space. Everybody matters within this space. It's not too late to get involved, man. Don't be scared. Just educate yourself. Take the time you need. And yeah, don't be scared. It's a lot of fun. It's exciting. And it's given me a lot of hope and a lot of passion to learn more about it. And I'm going to keep doing so. But yeah, guys, I think I'll wrap it here. I've talked enough about it for now. Yeah, I want to talk about this more, though, so expect me to maybe rant about it a bit more in the future. But hope you guys enjoyed. Again, get educated, man. That's all I'd like you guys to do. But it's given me a lot of hope and passion to talk about it, and I'm happy to bring my ideas on here and share them with you guys. So, again, hope you enjoyed. Yeah, guys, peace out. Catch you later.